up? It's your boy King Kesh. How you guys all doing? Alright, so we're back with a brand new video, and today we are ranking Assassin's Creed games in 2021 from the worst Assassin's Creed all the way to what I think is the best Assassin's Creed game. So I just want to put out there, this is all my opinion. If you guys do have a different opinion, leave a comment down below letting me know your opinion. But please do not crucify me. Do not try to murder me or just swear at me. Like, honestly, this is just my opinion. So you guys need to chill out and relax. Okay, because I do know there could be a massive war in the comments about a certain game. Trust me, I've seen comments on other people ranking these games or even just blurring out how bad Valhalla is. I can see a war in the comment section. So guys, this is just my opinion. You guys may like the games that I say might be shit. You guys might think the game is shit that I really, really like. It's all about opinions. I like my own opinion, and I like your guys' opinion as well. So yeah, let's jump straight into the video, guys. If you guys do enjoy this video, leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and let's jump straight into the video. Let's go. Alright, starting off with number 12, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys would have expected this. Assassin's Creed Odyssey was just not the best. I mean, in terms of a game, it was alright. I'm basing this all around the fact that assassins in the game. It needs to have assassins. Assassin's Creed. So in fact, of an Assassin's Creed game, this was disgusting. This was wrong. This was wrong in so many ways. There were no assassins in the game, no Templars, no nothing. It was a terrible game. I honestly did not like it. Like, yeah, the whole Greek thing, it was nice. The scenery of the game, everything was just perfect, but the storyline was completely vague. It was off. There was nothing evolved around Assassin's Creed. Legacy of the First Blade DLC involved an assassin, involved Hidden Blade, but the Hidden Blade is around the same where we see it now in Valhalla, where it is on top of his wrist, besides on the inside of his wrist, it's now on the top. So that was something they bring in. I guess a lot of people did like it. I honestly liked the new change of pace, putting it on top besides on the bottom. I thought that was really cool. So I guess a lot of people like that, and they decided to add it into Valhalla. Like, my one letdown about the game is that it was no assassins in the game. There was no assassins whatsoever. I think that's why some people kind of, said, alright, this is an Assassin's Creed game. I'm going to think of it as a Spartan or, a game based off the movie 300 and play it like that. And honestly, I don't blame you. I honestly did that from time to time. I just thought, yeah, this is a Spartan game. I'll just be a Spartan and go kill whatever. Because, honestly, it was shambles. But anyway, let's jump on to... That was the worst Assassin's Creed game, number 12. Let's jump on to number 11. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Evie Frye and Jacob Frye. So I did like Evie Frye. Evie Frye was, the more better evolution around of Assassin's Creed. This was based in London as well. Just thought I'd add that in there quickly. So yeah, I thought Evie Frye was one of the best out of both the characters. I think she was the best. She was more of an assassin, more the sneaky, more the smart one. She knew how to play things. But Jacob Frye, by far funniest assassin ever to be in Assassin's Creed. I honestly thought Jacob Frye was funny, but obviously a lot of people, well, mainly not me, I kind of enjoyed it, but mainly his immaturity towards certain things kind of wasn't what I was expecting. Kind of his immaturity to things was kind of not what I was expecting. I wanted a more mature character like Evie Frye, but I suppose you can't have two characters that are like that, because then the game would just be pretty boring. But having Jacob Frye being the most funniest assassin ever and Evie Frye being the more serious one was kind of a good balance of a game. But just the whole Assassin's Creed, that's where Assassin's Creed to Ubisoft started becoming a joke, where they made a lot of jokes about assassins, made a lot of jokes about the hidden ones, because that's when the hidden ones started growing, was in Assassin's Creed Syndicate. And I just thought, they're really taking Assassin's Creed as a bit of a joke now. They're making jokes about Assassin's Creed. It's kind of where Assassin's Creed started falling for me was right after Syndicate. Well, actually when Syndicate came out, that's when it started going down. But I did enjoy the game a lot, especially the DLC. If you guys haven't played it, Jack the Ripper, that was a mad DLC. If you guys have not played Jack the Ripper, do go play it. It's actually pretty cheap. I think around $10, I think. But within Jack the Ripper DLC, we do see a massive change in Jacob Frye not being much of a joker, more being the more serious type, and his maturity level has grown a lot. So yeah, that was my take on Assassin's Creed Syndicate. It was a brilliant game. I did enjoy it. I did enjoy running around the streets of London. It was really fun, but kind of not the game I was expecting. But let's move on to number 10. But Assassin's Creed Rogue. So Assassin's Creed Rogue, although I do like Assassin's Creed Rogue a lot, I have played it a couple of times, this was a very unique game to make us play in another order. We played as a Templar betraying himself as an assassin, and an assassin betraying themselves as Templars. It's a whole thing. God, you have to play the game to know. But yeah, so we played as, I think his name was Cormac, I believe Cormac. Yeah, Cormac was the protagonist for this game, and it was actually really good. I did enjoy playing as a Templar and seeing the Templars' perspective of things, because we always see the assassins' point of view, and now it was good to play as a Templar and see that point of view as well. Where we do have Haytham from Assassin's Creed 3 in there. He is obviously part of the Templars. If you guys haven't played Assassin's Creed 3, you'll know more about it. You know more about Haytham and everything like that. But yeah, so that was an interesting thing there, and I honestly did enjoy the game a lot. It was a lot of fun. The gameplay of the ship was also really good. I think it was a big improvement, I think, from Black Flag. I won't say a big improvement, but there was more of an improvement with just real tiny things. If you're like me and you like to poke at the little tiny things that do make a difference, like, you notice it very well. And yeah, I thought that was a really good game, but then again, I have to rank it as number 10 because it wasn't obviously my favorite game. Although I did like it, there was just one thing missing from that. There was one thing missing. But now let's move on to number 9, where number 9 actually continues on from Assassin's Creed Rogue, believe it or not, which is Assassin's Creed Unity. So if you guys have played Assassin's Creed Rogue, you guys know by the end of that game, he kills a guy right at the end, who turns out to be the main protagonist's father in Assassin's Creed Unity, which I forgot his name. I forgot the dude's name. What's his name? His name was Arno. And Arno was a very good character, although very childish at some points. His main goal was shadowed by love, which is also a very sweet thing. Don't get me wrong. Yes, it's very sweet. It's very cute. But in my eyes, I wanted a bit more from the character than just love. From the DLC, I forgot the name of it, we saw a more good character, which I would love to have seen more of, where he was more focused on his mission and being an assassin more than just focused on love, which shadowed his judgment on most things. Really good character. I really did enjoy the Assassin's Creed Anno, and especially Assassin's Creed Unity, the way they made it very smooth and made it feel like next gen, which made the game very buggy, very laggy, and God, the buggiest Assassin's Creed game ever. Like, this was a very bad Assassin's Creed due to bugs, due to so much hassle. It was terrible. It was completely wrong. And yeah, like, the game was really good. It made it feel like next gen, so that's why the game bugged a lot. The parkour was amazing. I thought that was, like, when the parkour works in your favor when you're playing, it feels smooth. It feels so satisfying, especially the combat as well. If the combat works very smoothly with you, it's a satisfying thing to do. It's so cool. But I did like also the multiplayer in Assassin's Creed Unity. I hope they do bring this back sometime in the near future, where you get to play 4 different assassins. You get to play with your friends and complete missions as assassins, which I thought was a very cool thing. I hope they do bring that back, because that was awesome. it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. I thought it was just at the best. But I did enjoy the game in terms of gameplay. The storyline was really good as well. I just feel like the love was a very clouding judgment on the character, and I feel like what we got in the DLC from Arno was definitely a much more determined character, which is something I love. I do love a character that, you know, love shadows a little bit, but I want a character who's more persist in the mission, doing it well, and being a very determined character. That's what I love about Assassin's Creed. And the fact that it was in Paris as well. Paris is a very beautiful scenery, such a beautiful place as well. So I feel like they did really, really well with that. And just the whole gameplay and the parkour especially was something we needed for Assassin's Creed nowadays. We needed that parkour with all the new gens that are coming out, the new gens that have been out. This game would work perfectly if they were implemented into games now. So Ubisoft, please try it. I think it'll go really well. Moving on to number 8. Number 8, I rank Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So yes, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is ranked at number 8. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be pissed at me. A lot of people are going to be mad. But please hear me out first. Hear me out. Although Assassin's Creed Valhalla is a really good game, I do enjoy Assassin's Creed Valhalla a lot. I enjoy the storyline. It was a massive improvement from Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And let's face it, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you didn't have to do much to top it. All you had to do was add in a better storyline and we would have loved it better. Honestly, but it was really good. And finally, we had the hidden ones, Assassins, added into Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which made it feel like a game. There's Hidden Blade finally. Finally, some reason. Finally, the Hidden Blade is in the game as well, so that was awesome. And yeah, I did enjoy the storyline. The storyline was a great new thing. I like building up my own settlement. I like games where you get to build up your own place, make it completely amazing. I do enjoy that. Raiding was probably one of the main things that probably sold Valhalla for me. Main thing was the raiding bit. The raiding was awesome. I was like, yes, get to raid settlements, kill people, take this shit and run. I love that. I love that. Probably not run. They'll be all dead, so we don't have to run. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. I really did enjoy that skill-based system, in that it doesn't really stop you a lot, if that's making sense. It doesn't stop you from doing most of the missions. It just stops you from killing most of the high-leveled enemies. That was mainly it. But I think in terms of, you know, actually doing the mission, it won't stop you. And also, like, if you do have the advanced assassination skill, where you can assassinate people with one shot just by timing it correctly, you can pretty much do mainly any mission just with that skill alone. So I did think that was pretty cool, and I did enjoy the game a lot. The character Eivor, you can choose to play as a boy or a girl, which was, I thought, pretty cool. I mainly played as the girl. I know with the game being launched, it was a guy character that was more the protagonist for this one, but I kind of enjoyed the girl character. I feel like she expressed, like, the expressions on her face, the certain features on her face kind of made it feel more better as playing with the woman. I don't know, you guys definitely have played the game, so just leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Do you like playing as the guy or the girl? Honestly, it doesn't matter. I just prefer the girl because I think, number one, girl power. Love you women out there. But yeah, I feel like just the girl character was so much more cooler to play as, and certain outfits kind of look really sick on the girl than opposed to the guy. So yeah, but the whole thing, double axes was really cool as well. I do like the weapon system in this game. It's really cool. I do like rocking double weapons, double spears, double massive axes, the little axes as well. I do enjoy that. It is really, really cool. And the fact that, you know, we get to go around and he tells us all the targets we have to assassinate, and we use the hidden blade and assassinate them, which felt very Assassin's Creed to me. So I do like it, and that's exactly why I'm rating at number 8. But it is a bit early to rank that game because we still haven't had the Siege of Paris DLC, but we have had the Wrath of Jewels DLC, which just came out. So I hope you guys are enjoying that, because I sure am. But yeah, so that's where I'll be ranking Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So there's definitely two types of fans with Assassin's Creed 3 usually fall into. They strongly love this game and think it's one of the better Assassin's Creed games, where I fall into the other category. Assassin's Creed 3 could have been one of the most better Assassin's Creed games. It could have been one of the better Assassin's Creed games if it tried. The Assassin's Creed 3, in terms of gameplay, turned out to be a lot more animation based. In terms of, most action type things were a lot more animated. In terms of running and, cannons were flying through, bashing up buildings were falling apart. The double kill or the triple kill technique. The combat wasn't really as challenging. You just gotta time things right. Press B or circle with your PlayStation player to counter, and then X or square to beat down the guy, and yeah, he's dead. Like, that's pretty much how the combat was. It was really basic and not that challenging, but honestly, I don't know why. I do enjoy that type of combat a bit. I do enjoy it a bit. In terms of it just being, more animation based and, doing a finishing kill is pretty cool, where in terms of these games now. But I feel like with the open world experience not leading into the jungle area, the forest area, more leading into the city, was not really more parkour based when it comes down to it, because I can pretty much say for most of the time when I was in the open world in New York or in Boston, I gotta say I didn't really see myself doing parkour most of the time. Usually I just run on the street or just take a horse and go through the streets. I didn't really do much of the parkour, but when it did come into the forest area, I did use the trees most of the times to get around places, because the snow was such a drag to go through, such a drag. It was so annoying. But yeah, so I did do that most of the time. Haytham, being the father of Connor, who is the main protagonist, Connor was a very childish person. He wasn't interesting at all in terms of, being mysterious, being a lot more, just a lot more like a certain character, which I'll get more into as we go on in the thing. But yeah, so he was a very boring character. His motives were one-sided. There was no other motive towards him, just one. And yeah, I thought they could have done a lot more better with Connor's character. And this was the first game to involve naval warfare. Of course, it was improved within Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but in this game, it was quite painful to play. I honestly did not like it. It was so bad, but obviously being the first game to invite naval into Assassin's Creed, of course it wasn't going to be the best, but is Assassin's Creed Origins. So Assassin's Creed Origins is played by the main protagonist, Bayek of Siwa. I thought this character was absolutely terrific. Obviously having the storyline of his son getting murdered by the Order of Ancient People, and he goes to find them and kill them. I felt like this character was absolutely amazing, and I do not know why Ubisoft, we did not get a sequel for this character. This character was amazing. I wanted to see more of Bayek of Siwa. This would have been absolutely amazing. Although it does introduce the Hidden Ones very loosely, he is part of the Hidden Ones and introduces it very loosely, but at least it is there. Assassin's Creed Origins is honestly one of the best games, but it does fall on a couple of things in terms of the combat, which is not based on a lot of Assassin's Creed elements in that. And also when it comes down to the parkour elements or the stealth, it isn't more Assassin's Creed based. And the one thing about the stealth is the Hidden Blade didn't kill instantly, which made the stealth very hard to do, because you had to obviously upgrade the Hidden Blade in order for it to instant one hit kill. But obviously now if you jump on the game and obviously fully upgrade it, it makes no difference. But when you first start off the game and you want to use the Hidden Blade and you have to do some sort of stealth mission, where there's actually a couple missions in the game where stealth is a big thing, especially when you're not high level and you can't beat these guys hand-to-hand combat with such weak weapons. You can't really do the stealth properly because the Hidden Blade is very weak at the start and it doesn't one-shot kill, which can make the stealth really hard to do. And the spot of getting detected, where in the old games, it used to be, kind of see him, you're suspicious, and then you get detected. When this one, it was simultaneous instantly. As soon as they see you, you straight away get detected. There was no 3 stages to it. Straight away you get detected, and that's it. Boom, you're straight away in a fight. And I did not like that personally. So pretty much when it came down to that, this whole stealth thing was not more of, trying to find a way to stay out of combat. It was more of a way of trying to get into combat in a more safer way, but this game was more based on you being in combat in order than staying away from combat. Obviously, Assassin's Creed Origins had the microtransaction problems, which aren't really a big issue for me. I didn't really see much of it as a problem within Origins because I didn't really pay for much except the DLCs in that, which were the Hidden Ones DLC and the Curse of the Pharaohs DLC, which I thought 2 very good DLCs, more mythical and stuff like that within Curse of the Pharaohs. But in terms of it being in Egypt, this place didn't have to put all these, mystical element. You don't have to add that much element into Egypt. Egypt just looks like a magical place itself, so you didn't really add that in. The scenery was beautiful. Egypt, very beautiful place, and I feel like they did very well with the scenery in this game. Egypt looked amazing. But besides all that, I think there's a lot to like in Assassin's Creed Origins. Assassin's Creed Origins is an amazing game, and if you haven't played it yet, I strongly do suggest it. Even knowing the Assassin's Creed elements really lack in this game, in terms of it being a great storyline and a very good character, more better than we've seen in recent times. Especially, I think this character falls really well under Ezio Auditore from Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations. I think he falls close to them because this was the first great character we've had in a long time. So yeah, I definitely do suggest this game because it is a great character, and that's why I ranked it as number 6. Alright, Assassin's Creed 1. It only feels fair that we put this over here. Now, Assassin's Creed 1, people will say it's outdated, it's old, it's terrible. Like, the graphics are terrible, the gameplay is terrible, why would you even go back to this? Like, yes, it doesn't look like it just came out yesterday, but of course, the Assassin's Creed game, I think, should have, advanced drastically since this game came out. This was the game that was responsible for getting all of us Assassin's Creed fans hooked into the game since its first release back in 2007. This storyline was very baffling, it was very suspicious. Altair being a very cool character, being very suspicious, very crafty. I think this was a great character, and the fact his immaturity of Altair being the more immature and the more cocky assassin, where he knew he was doing something right, but everyone saw it as him doing the wrong thing, I think his character progression was very, very cool. Assassin's Creed 1 is one of the games that I will have so much love for. There's a lot of Assassin's Creed elements in this game that all the Assassin's Creed games could never have done so perfectly, with the most prestige parts in it, but that's where the game ages, to becoming a great Assassin's Creed game to probably becoming a game that was perfect in its prime and then dropped. But yeah, this game is awesome, and I certainly have a lot of love for this game. This game is a complete gem, and I could always go back and play this one just as all the other games that are more higher up on the list. Alright, coming in at number 4, Assassin's Creed Revelations. So this game did make me tear up a lot in terms of it being the last trilogy episode to Ezio Auditore from Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood and Revelations. This was his final trilogy story, which was kind of very upsetting because, you could tell by the game he was getting old. It was time for him to hang up the boots. But this was a great game and a great way to end it by finding out more history about Altair. So he wanted to know the truth and went on a search into the old Assassins area to find more of the history behind Altair and what he was hiding, or what knowledge he left behind for Ezio to find out. And this was honestly a great character to end on. I honestly love Ezio Auditore. He was such a great character, one of the best characters I think ever in Assassin's Creed. Absolutely perfect. The way to end this off, Darling McDevitt, I think, was the person that did the writing for this game. He absolutely nailed this game. Nailed it. This was the best way to end off Assassin's Creed Revelations. And it's sad that Darby McDevitt is now moved on. He is no longer in Ubisoft, which I'm going to be so sad about, that we won't get his brilliant writing in future Assassin's Creed games. But this game, perfect way to end it for Ezio. As you're playing this game in Konstantinopel, I think the name is, I may have butchered that so much. As you're playing this game, this does feel like the last ride that you will ever have with Ezio Auditore, and I gotta say, the way they portrayed this storyline was no less than perfect. Like, you just know this is gonna be the ending, and the brilliance of this game and how the storyline went was absolutely brilliant, and I feel like this is the last ride. Let's go out with a bang, and that's exactly what they did with this game. We went out with an absolute bang with one of the best characters ever. And one of the best things about this game is that we grew up with Altair, which was one of the best things. We saw him as a youth in Assassin's Creed 2. We saw him find his place in the Creed in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and now we find him coming to the end of his story as an assassin and finally hang up the boots in Revelations, which I think is very cool for us. Let's see a development of a character from where it started to where it ended, and I thought that was really, really cool. I gotta say, as much as Assassin's Creed Revelation might seem like an old game, and leaning into it, it will be soon 10 years since this game came out. This thing is still a cracker of a game, a banger of a storyline, and I don't mind going back and playing this game over and over and over again, because it is just awesome. Even 10 years later, it's still the best game out. So that's why I rank it at number 4. Now at number 3 we go Assassin's Creed 2. Alright, so Assassin's Creed 2, definitely one of the higher Assassin's Creed games. That's why I put it as number 3. This game was amazing. This was the start of an amazing character. This was such a cool character. I honestly enjoyed Ezio's storyline from where it started all the way up until Revelations. He was an awesome character. The youth of his storyline was absolutely awesome. The way his parents have died by the hands of the Templars, and now he goes to learn, the arts of an assassin from everybody he knows, which I think is a cool way to start off this character's journey, which I did feel like in Assassin's Creed 2, there was no way they were going to end him without giving him a sequel. And when they gave him a sequel, his character progression up and up and up and up and up and up and up, and it just became absolutely top of the list, perfect progression story to the way it ended in Revelations. And I think this character is amazing in terms of gameplay and storyline. Storyline, perfect. I got nothing bad about the storyline. And in terms of the gameplay, it is very basic gameplay. Remember, this game is really, really old, so the gameplay ain't going to be extravagant, but it is perfect. It helps you pick your timing. It's not just very simple gameplay. You gotta pick your timing in order to kill. It's perfect. Assassinations are instantly. The parkour, kind of basic. Remember, long game, but in this game you're not climbing up a 10-story rock somehow with just not even looking for some sort of way to get up, or is there a tricky little way you gotta get up? You gotta go around the building. Maybe there's a place there where you can go more up. There was nothing like that in these new games. You just climb and climb and climb. You can climb on anything at this point. But in that one, you gotta find your ways to get up. There's ways to get into places. There's tricky little puzzles, way to climb buildings. It's perfect, and that's exactly what I like. You can't just randomly run up a wall and grab onto something that's not even there and start climbing. You're not Spider-Man here. So that was really, really cool. And yeah, I feel like Ezio as a character, his character progression in the story was absolutely amazing, and I feel like we're never going to get a character like that ever again in Assassin's Creed. Number 2, and I gotta say, despite what number 1 is going to be for me, which I'm pretty sure you guys probably figured it out already, but I gotta say, number 2, one of the best games I think ever of Assassin's Creed. This is my favorite. I have played this game more than 5 times. I've completed it more than 5 times. This game is awesome. One of my favorites ever, Assassin's Creed Black Flag. This game was an absolute gem. So you guys may totally think differently about this, but I think Assassin's Creed Black Flag, ranking it at number 2, is one of the best Assassin's Creed games ever to launch. It was amazing. The casting of the characters were amazing. The protagonist, Edward Kenway, was amazing. The way he went from being a selfish pirate all the way to still being that same selfish pirate, but also having some understanding of the Assassin's Creed, of having the understanding of the Creed is really, really cool. And I think this character was absolutely amazing. Gameplay, absolutely exquisite. The open world was amazing. Building up your ship was amazing as well. I think this game was an absolute gem, and I think we will never see character casting quite like this ever again within the Assassin's Creed franchise. Alright, yeah, and the storyline was really, really good, and I feel like the gameplay of the ships was also really, really cool as well. It was a big improvement, obviously, within Assassin's Creed 3. The gameplay of the ships was perfect. Upgrading your ship, everything like that was absolutely cool. Crafting up your armor as well was really, really cool as well. I think this game was absolutely perfect, and bringing in assassins and Edward finding his mark within the Creed, knowing not actually being a proper assassin, he did find his marking in the Creed, and I thought that was really, really cool within the character. The last and final game, which obviously you guys knew it was going to be my number one favorite, that's never going to change, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Now this game is an absolute gem. I cannot say anything less than that. This game being the middle of Ezio's trilogy, him finding his mark within the Creed is so good. And the storyline of where he goes to, who killed his uncle Mario, he goes to find him, the way he goes about it, the way he, Mark's slowly moving towards him. He moves a bit slow, but he's finding ways to get towards him. Building up the Creed, making it extend in a branch. You're recruiting different people, training them up to be assassins. I thought that was really cool. Being Ezio, he's expanding the Creed. Obviously the Creed just consisted of just a few people. This one was expanding to different people, expanding and hiring new people. This was expanding even more and more and more, where the Creed just got even bigger and bigger. And I thought Ezio's character within the game was a really good character. I think this was more better than Revelations and number 2. Obviously Revelations being the end of his career, and Assassin's Creed 2 being the more start of his career, being more childish, didn't really know much. With this one, he was more in his prime and finding out his spot within the Creed and working towards that. And I thought this was really, really such a good character, and I could not say anything less about this game than besides being absolutely perfect. The gameplay, obviously, I think it progresses to be a bit easier within Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. The combat is very easy. It's very easy to time things, and you can do more than just one kill. You can keep comboing into another kill and into another kill. You can kill about, I think, 4 people after killing one person. I think the parkour was a big improvement from Assassin's Creed 2. It was a massive improvement. I think the parkour was really much a really big improvement, where it wasn't slow. It wasn't, very slow, where it was just one hand grabbing. It was a lot more smoother. We can actually see, movement in the hands, him pulling himself up. It was a lot more smoother within the parkour system, which obviously being the 3rd game, I don't expect it to be absolutely magnificent, but it was definitely a huge improvement, and that's one thing I loved within this game. The side content did seem a bit repetitive at times, where you're just hiring people or clearing out a certain place and taking it down, and then lighting this tower on fire, letting you know that you've defeated everyone and now it's yours, and opening up Rome into a bigger experience, which I did find that quite repetitive and quite a bit boring, but the storyline definitely stops it, and that side content relates to the storyline. This side content isn't just something that's remotely not even related to the story. The side content relates to the story, which makes it even more better. Feels like you're actually doing something well worth time, and something that will help the storyline progress in a different direction than in terms of just doing something else that has no relations to it, and it's just a means to help you rank up or get XP, stuff like that. Which in new games now, doing those side contents relates nothing to the storyline, but it helps you progress and level up to make sure you do the main story for the other time, which kind of seems a bit lackluster, not really worth your time, where in this one it did seem worth your time and it felt like you were actually doing something that was well worth doing. And I think the storyline of ending this game was absolutely amazing. I could not say anything less to you guys about this. All I'm gonna say is Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, absolute gem of a game. If you guys have not played the Assassin's Creed trilogy of Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood and Revelations, guys, go do it. Go get the Ezio collection. This game is amazing. The trilogy was awesome, and I could not say anything less than, if you guys haven't played this, what are you doing with your lives? Get off playing other games, play this one. You guys have to. It's an amazing game. Just go play it. But yeah, that is my opinion on Assassin's Creed, on ranking the Assassin's Creed games in 2021. This will definitely change, trust me. I do have my on and off with some of these games that I've ranked. I feel like this was a very basic one by default, but I feel like in years coming, definitely next year as well, with the new Assassin's Creed game that's getting released, I think it is going to be Japan, I think. I'm not really sure. I might need to check that again. But I think some things will change within my rankings of this. But if you guys do have your own opinion, please leave it down in the comments below. Tell me your opinion. Please don't get in a hurry. Don't, argue with each other. Everyone has their own opinion. Respect that. Respect someone else's opinion just because they don't like the same thing as you. Doesn't mean you have to freaking destroy them and say mean things to them. Be polite, be nice, have a nice little discussion. That's what the comment section's there for. It's not for you guys to be rude and nasty to each other. So I hope you guys do enjoy this video. If you guys did, leave it a huge thumbs up, subscribe down below if you guys are new to the channel. And I'll see you guys soon on a brand new video. Take care. You guys will play Legends, and peace.